This is the continued part of the application of hydrogen bonding. We have studied that in the previous video. The covalent or ionic bond is always stronger than hydrogen bonding. But this is an exceptional case wherein the hydrogen bonding here becomes equal to almost the energy of hydrogen bonding will be equal to the energy of covalent bond. You can observe this is HF2 minus. So this is HF. When there is an approach of F minus ion, you get this HF minus, HF2 minus like this. Minus. This is your covalent bond, while this is your hydrogen bond. In this case, this is an exceptional case. In this case, the energy of this covalent bond, this FH covalent bond, say this is in the form of AHB. So in this case, the energy of covalent bond, energy of covalent bond is equal to energy of hydrogen bond. So this is an exception case. So just remember for your NEET, CET and JEE. Except this case, 99% times always energy of covalent bond is greater than energy of hydrogen bond. Remember, this is for 99% cases. This is an exceptional case wherein energy of covalent bond is equal to energy of hydrogen bond. The other application of hydrogen bonding is, very important application of hydrogen bonding is boiling point. So remember, boiling point is directly proportional to molecular mass of a substance. You have also studied this in your states of matter chapter. You have studied this in the states of matter chapter, wherein you have studied that the boiling point is directly proportional to molecular mass. As a result, I can take an example of the boiling points of acids. So these are the below acids. I have written the decreasing order of boiling points of acids. So this is your hydroiodic acid, hydrobromic acid, hydrochloric acid and hydrofluoric acid. So hydroiodic acid has higher molecular mass when compared to hydrobromic acid, hydrochloric acid and hydrofluoric acid, because although they have hydrogen in same, fluorine, chlorine, bromine and iodine are different. Down the group, the atomic mass increases, hence hydrogen iodide's molecular mass is greater. As a result, its boiling point is highest. This is least because its molecular mass is least. But here there is an exception. For this order, that is HF has higher boiling point than HI. That is, HF comes first, which is greater than HI, which is greater than HBr, which is also greater than HCl. So this is because this has hydrogen bonding as intermolecular forces, while these molecules have only dipole-dipole interactions. All these molecules. Hence, I can tell that you know that hydrogen bonding is a stronger bonding than dipole-dipole. Hence, this has higher boiling point. So, what do you mean by boiling point? Very simple. When you go on heating a liquid, the intermolecular force between the molecules will break down and they get converted into vapor form. That is nothing but that point is nothing but your boiling point. Remember that point. What is boiling point? So, it is a temperature. It is a temperature at which all the intermolecular forces of a liquid breaks to form vapors. So very important intermolecular forces. Here intermolecular force is stronger, here intermolecular force is weaker. Hence HF boils at a higher boiling point when compared to all these things. Actually the order should be this one according to this relationship. But here the intermolecular forces also comes into picture. Hence HF is the higher boiling point molecule when compared to your HI, HBr followed by HCl. So I can also write it as, along with this relationship, I can also write it here as boiling point is directly proportional to intermolecular forces. Remember this. Stronger the intermolecular force, greater is the boiling point. Also remember this, stronger, that is larger the molecular mass, boiling point is also larger. So this is why, this is the, again you can explain, this is why water is a liquid while H2S is a gas. You can observe these are the same group elements. Oxygen and sulfur are same group elements which has to show similar properties with their compounds. That is, it is forming a molecule with hydrogen, and sulfur is also forming a molecule with hydrogen. But here this is a liquid in state, here it is a gas. That is, this water molecule has hydrogen bonding. It's a strong bonds, hence it forms liquids in nature. You know liquids have strong intermolecular forces. Hence water is a liquid. While H2S is a gas, this is because this lacks hydrogen bonds. That is why it is a gas. That is, gas doesn't have, or I can also tell it as weak intermolecular forces. It has a weak intermolecular forces. Hence, H2S is a gas while water is a liquid. Frequently asked question, why water is a liquid, H2S is a gas, although the elements belong to same group. That is because this is having hydrogen bond, so stronger bond, hence it exists as a liquid state in room temperature. H2S doesn't have this hydrogen bonds, hence it acts as a gas in your room temperature. Therefore, finally I can write it as boiling point is directly proportional to molecular mass, and it is also directly proportional to intermolecular forces. Remember this. Another application is ice floats on water. What may be the reason? Ice is a solid which floats on water, which means ice is less denser. Obviously, anything that floats on water means it is having a less density when compared to water. Now, why is ice less denser than water? Although ice is also having water molecules as composition, even water is a liquid form of H2O. So, we already know, we have studied in chapter hydrogen chapter. We have studied this in hydrogen chapter, that ice has intermolecular hydrogen bonding. Does water doesn't have? Yes, it also has, but in ice, these intermolecular hydrogen bonding form cage-like structures. I think you can remember now. It has cage-like structures which gives hollowness, that is hollowness to the ice. That is, the intermolecular hydrogen bonding in ice gives a cage-like structure inside the solidification of water. These cage-like structures are pores in the ice, and such cage-like structures are a lot many more cage-like structures which gives hollowness to the ice. Hence, Ice become less denser when compared to your water, hence ice floats on water. The reason again here it is due to this hydrogen bonding. The cage-like structure which gives you the hollowness, it becomes like a sponge thing which floats on the water. I think you know what do you mean by sponge. It has a lot of pores in it. So as a result, ice also has a lot of cages-like structure which gives the hollowness to the water. Sorry, a hollowness to the ice. Discuss below questions as homework. Give the increasing order of hydrogen bond strength between ammonia, water, HF. Hydrogen bond strength, increasing order. That is, you have to go from a smaller bond strength of hydrogen bond to higher thing. Remember, all these three molecules have hydrogen bonding. Intermolecular hydrogen bonding is present in all these things. You have to see whether which is having more hydrogen bond strength among these three. Next thing, how many maximum number of hydrogen bonds is possible for one water molecule. One water molecule, that is one water molecule. Say this is your water molecule, means H. I'm giving you a hint. There are two lone pairs of electrons here. Say this is one water molecule, means it can form how many number of hydrogen bonds, intermolecular hydrogen bonds. Maybe it may be with other water molecule, or it may be with HF, or it may be with ammonia, or it may be with alcohol, or anything sort of things, but it can form how many intermolecular. Remember, it is intermolecular hydrogen bonding. Very importantly, one water molecule, very important, only one water molecule. I'm not talking about 1 mole. One water molecule can form how many intermolecular hydrogen bonds? So solve these two questions and send to my personal number. Thank you.